Hello viewers, welcome back to our channel. In the last lecture of field theory, we have shown that Zn, the set of congruence classes from 0 to n-1, forms a ring with respect to the addition of congruence classes and multiplication of the congruence classes. So this is a ring with those operations, and in fact it is a commutative ring with unity with those operations. Now we will show that under what condition that this Zn turns out to be a field. So what is this result? Zn is a field if and only if n is a prime integer. So to prove this result, first we will use a lemma in which we will show that every non-zero element of Zn is invertible if and only if it is co-prime to n. The representative of that class is co-prime to n. So let's prove this result. So to prove our main result, first we will show that every non-zero element of Zn is invertible if and only if the representative of that class is co-prime to n. So let's prove this lemma first and then we will move to our main result. So we have to prove this result in both way. So first we suppose that A is a non-zero element of Zn and the GCD of A and n is 1. So what we have to show that A has an inverse in Zn. It means this non-zero element is invertible in Zn. Okay, so what we have given? We have given that the GCD of A and n is 1. So this condition implies from the number theory we can say that there exist integers u and v such that a times u plus n times v is equal to 1. Okay, this implies further au is equal to, you can write this in this way also, au minus 1 is the multiple of n. It means this left hand side is a multiple of n. It means what is the definition of congruence classes? N divide the difference of au minus 1. It means the class of au is nothing but the class of 1. This is the definition of the way we have construct the congruence classes. Okay, here we have used this result that the class of A is equal to the class of B if and only if n divide their difference of their representative. Okay, you can use notation here also, our previous notation, the class of au is equal to the class of 1. Okay, now open this product as the class of u, class of a and class of u is equal to 1, and since this is commutative, so you can write this way also. So this implies a has an inverse, namely in Zn. So we have proved one side, now we prove the converse part. So conversely, suppose that a non-zero element in Zn has inverse say in Zn. So for the reverse part, we have assumed that A is a non-zero element having inverse in Zn. So apply the definition of inverse. So this implies if B, the class of B is the inverse of A, then you can write this way as the product of these two classes is 1 because B is the inverse of A. This implies the class of AB is equal to the class of 1, and this implies n divide their difference, the difference of the representatives AB minus 1, and this implies you can say that AB minus 1 is a multiple of n. Let me correct this one. For some t integers. Okay, so rewrite this in this way: AB plus n minus t is equal to 1, and from here you can use again number theoretic result that the GCD of A and n is 1. So this is the converse part. So till now we have proved that in Zn every non-zero element is invertible if and only if A and n they are co-prime. Now we will use this result to prove our main result, that Zn is a field if and only if n is a prime integer. So now we move to our main result. Zn is a field if and only if n is a prime integer. So first suppose that Zn is a field. Okay, so what we have to prove? We have to prove that n is a prime integer. Okay, so what does it mean? Zn is a field. This implies every non-zero element in Zn is invertible with respect to the operation multiplication. Okay, so that is if this is equal to 1 for all non-zero element in Zn. So what are the non-zero element of Zn? The non-zero element of Zn are 1, 2 up to the class of n minus 1. So it means if A is any element from these classes, then that is invertible. So what does it means? It means that if 1 less than equal to A less than equal to n minus 1, then the class of that integer is invertible. Okay, so this is the implication of this statement. Now we prove that. What is our claim? We have to show that n is prime integer. N is prime integer, and we prove this result by contradiction. So for contradiction, assume that n is not a prime integer. Suppose n is not a prime integer. So अगर n prime नहीं है, then n what should n be? N is a composite. Okay, so this implies n must be a composite number. Okay, so n must be a composite number. So it means n can be factorized in this way. N can be written as n1, n2, 1 less than n1, less than n, and 1 less than n2, less than n. Okay, if you observe that n1 and n2 both are less than n. Okay, and we know that if any element is less than n, then the class of that element is a non-zero element of Zn. So it means the class of n1 is not 0 because n1 is less than n. So n1 is from all these, n1 is any element from this set. Okay, similarly n2 is less than n, therefore n2, the class of n2 is from this set Zn star. Okay, so it means n2 is also non-zero. N2, class of n2 is also non-zero. It means n1 and n2 has inverse in Zn star. It means both these n1 and n2, classes of n1 and n2 are invertible in Zn star. Okay, so now from this equation, let us call this equation star. So what star implies? Star implies the class of n is equal to class of n1, n2, and this implies again the class of n1, class of n2 is equal to the class of n, and we know that the class of n is nothing but class of 0 because in modulo Zn all multiples of n are treated as 0. So what you can do here, just pre-multiply by inverse of n1 bar. So if we pre-multiply by the inverse of n1 bar, then what does we have? We have n2 bar is 0. It means what is 0? Class of 0 is n. Or you can say that n divides n2, which is not possible. Not possible because n2 is less than n according to our assumption. Okay, similarly, if we post multiply by the inverse of n2 bar, similarly we have n1 bar is 0 if we post multiply by the inverse of n2 bar. So n1 bar is 0 and this implies n divides n1, which is again not possible. Not possible. So both these contradiction prove that our assumption is that n is not prime is wrong. Is wrong. Okay, so our assumption is wrong. So n must be composite. So this, sorry, n must be prime. N must be prime. Okay, so for the converse part, let's assume Zn be a ring and n is prime. Okay, so you can observe very easily that Zn is a commutative ring with unity means multiplicative identity 1. So but we have to show only that every non-zero element of Zn is invertible if n is a prime. So what is our claim here? Every non-zero element of Zn is invertible. Okay, so choose a non-zero element. So A is a non-zero element in Zn. This implies this A belongs to this set. Okay, it means A is a congruence class having representative 1, 2 up to n minus 1. A is any of these elements. Okay, so this implies 1 less than equal to A less than equal to n minus 1, because A is a congruence class belonging to this set. So therefore the representative A may lie between 1 and n minus 1. Okay, and n is prime. N is prime. So n is p. So it means that is, you can write there 1 less than equal to A less than equal to, this implies 1 is less than equal to A less than equal to p minus 1. And you know that if any integer is less than p, then that is co-prime to p, and this implies A and p have GCD 1. And using the previous lemma, if any integer is co-prime to n, then that is invertible in Zn, and n is prime here. Okay, so this completes the solution of this theorem that Zn is a field if and only if n is a prime, and this proof is only based on the concept of congruence classes, equivalence classes. In the next lecture, we will reprove all these results using the concept of division algorithm or the concept of remainders. So stay tuned for upcoming lecture. Thank you.